Have you ever wondered how Britain became a naval superpower? Our story begins in the year 1805, during the throes of the Napoleonic Wars. The continent of Europe is a powder keg, with the ambitious French leader, Napoleon Bonaparte, seeking to extend his dominion across the seas. But standing in his way is the formidable British Royal Navy, led by the legendary Admiral Horatio Nelson. Over in the Franco-Spanish corner are Admirals Pierre-Charles Villeneuve and Federico Gravina, tasked with the mission of breaking the British naval blockade. The stage is set off the coast of Spain, near a little cape known as Trafalgar. The stakes, nothing less than control of the seas and the fate of nations. Each leader, each sailor, each ship, poised on the edge of a moment that would echo through the annals of history. With the stage set, the Battle of Trafalgar was poised to be a decisive moment in naval history. On October 21, 1805, the battle lines were drawn off the Cape of Trafalgar. The morning air was thick with tension as the British fleet, arranged in two unconventional columns, faced the combined French and Spanish forces, lined up in a traditional crescent formation. This was a moment that would decide the fate of naval supremacy for decades to come. Admiral Horatio Nelson, leading the British fleet, was no stranger to breaking the rules of naval engagement. His strategy this day was no exception. Instead of the customary line of battle, where two fleets would engage side by side, Nelson opted for a bold and risky plan. He divided his fleet into two columns, intended to cut through the enemy line at perpendicular angles. This unorthodox tactic was designed to divide and conquer the enemy fleet, causing confusion and disarray among their ranks. On the opposing side, French Admiral Pierre-Charles Villeneuve and Spanish Admiral Federico Gravina were tasked with breaking the British blockade. Their combined fleet, although larger, was less experienced and not prepared for the audacious tactics of Nelson. As the British fleet moved closer, a sense of anticipation filled the air. It was then that Nelson sent a signal to his fleet, a message that would become one of the most famous in naval history. England expects that every man will do his duty. These words, flying high on the flagship Victory's signal flags, served as a rallying cry, boosting the morale of the British sailors. With the stage set, the battle commenced. The thunderous roar of cannons filled the air, and the sea around them churned with the tumult of war. The British fleet, with their unconventional tactics and inspired by Nelson's leadership, charged head-on into the enemy line. The French and Spanish fleets, taken by surprise, struggled to respond. As the battle raged on, the fate of naval supremacy hung in the balance. The echoes of this day would resound across the centuries, shaping the course of history and the destiny of empires. Despite a valiant fight, Nelson was mortally wounded. But his sacrifice was not in vain. His audacious tactics and inspiring leadership resulted in a decisive victory for the British fleet. The Battle of Trafalgar was a crushing defeat for Napoleon's naval ambitions. The strength of the combined French and Spanish fleets was severely undermined, with 22 of their ships captured or destroyed, while the British fleet didn't lose a single one. The aftermath of the battle sent shockwaves throughout Europe. Napoleon's plans to invade Britain were thwarted, and the British blockade remained unbroken. This strategic victory not only halted Napoleon's expansionist aspirations, but also secured Britain's position as the dominant naval power. But the impact of the Battle of Trafalgar extended beyond the immediate tactical victory. It had profound long-term consequences that shaped the course of history. The defeat at Trafalgar marked the decline of Napoleon's naval ambitions, as he shifted his focus towards the continental Europe. This shift in strategy marked the beginning of the end for Napoleon's rule, leading to his eventual downfall. For Britain, the victory at Trafalgar cemented its status as the unrivaled maritime power of the 19th century. The Royal Navy's supremacy at sea enabled Britain to protect its shores, expand its empire, and control vital trade routes. This naval dominance played a crucial role in shaping the geopolitical landscape of the time, influencing the balance of power for decades to come. Moreover, the Battle of Trafalgar became a symbol of national pride and heroism. The memory of Nelson's selfless sacrifice and the triumphant victory of the British fleet are still commemorated today, serving as a reminder of the courage and tenacity that defined this pivotal moment in naval history. The Battle of Trafalgar marked a turning point, not only in the Napoleonic Wars, but also in the balance of global power. It stands as a testament to strategic brilliance, courageous leadership, and the indomitable spirit of the men who fought to protect their nation's interests. And its legacy, much like the waves of the sea, continues to ripple through time. So there you have it, the Battle of Trafalgar, a monumental event that shaped the course of history. Let's take a moment to recap the key points we've discussed in this journey through the past. We delved into the prelude to this pivotal battle, understanding the tense climate of the Napoleonic Wars and the strategic importance of naval supremacy. We met the key players, including the legendary Admiral Horatio Nelson, whose ingenious tactics and unyielding spirit played a crucial role in the British victory. We relived the dramatic unfolding of the battle itself, marked by Nelson's audacious attack strategy and his rallying signal. England expects that every man will do his duty. This phrase still resonates today as a symbol of courage and patriotism. We then explored the aftermath and legacy of the Battle of Trafalgar. Despite the tragic loss of Nelson, the British emerged victorious, capturing or destroying 22 enemy ships without losing a single one of their own. This momentous victory not only thwarted Napoleon's plans to invade Britain, but also cemented British naval supremacy for decades to come. Finally, we touched upon the long-term consequences of this battle, highlighting its significant role in shaping the geopolitical landscape of the 19th century. The defeat at Trafalgar marked the decline of Napoleon's naval ambitions and affirmed Britain as the unrivaled maritime power of its time. Understanding historical events like the Battle of Trafalgar is vital. It's more than just reliving the past. It's about gaining insights into the strategies, decisions, and actions that have shaped our world. It brings to light the interplay of power, strategy, and human courage, painting a vivid picture of our collective past. Remember, history is not just about the past. It's about understanding the world we live in today. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Until next time, happy exploring.